Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna have a Chattin' with Alana. I was crocheting and watching TV and I was thinking, you know, I haven't done one of these in a while and I don't have a lot that I could talk about. Not a lot going on, well, a lot going on, but besides that, so I thought I would sit and work on this project that I started a while ago, and my goal is to finish projects that I started and then I've just sat in a corner and not worked on. So I thought, you know what, I need to work on these, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do a Chattin' with Alana while I work on these and chat with you guys. So if you guys want to get something to drink, sit down, get a project to work on, and we'll go from there. Anyway, so what I'm working on today, I have had this yarn. Oh man, I bought this in New Orleans probably 6 or 7 years ago, and it has been setting on my shelf and setting, and I started a project with it and then didn't like the project, pulled it out, started another project, didn't like it, pulled it out, and finally, like I said, that I wanted to get through all of this stuff, get these projects that I start done, and get tutorials going and be done. So this started out as like 3 different projects, and I pulled it apart, and I've landed on this baby set that I'm working on, and I've been trying to think of a name for it, and the only name that I can come up with is something with pickle in it. I know, that's pickle. That's the only thing I can come up with, something with the name pickle in it because of the colors. But anyway, it's a variegated and a solid ripple that I think this is probably my new favorite ripple Afghan, or well, not chevron. Chevron is more of like a harsh, what's the word I'm looking for? Harsh angles, right? This is more of a wave ripple. But I have to say, I think this is my new favorite pattern because it is so easy. And it's easy to, you know, it's easy to watch your favorite show and look at this and be like, oh wait, I messed up. So look back and be like, oh, here it is, and you know, just fix it. And to keep track as you go, so you're not 4 rows up and then you notice you messed up, right? This is you can catch it as you go kind of pattern. Excuse me, I have coffee and dang, it's hitting weird. Anyway, so I need your guys' help. I want this to be named, obviously this is going to be a boy Afghan pillow, and then maybe a cardigan, something with it set. But I want it to be something with the name pickle. And the only reason is because of this green. Does that not look like something that would be called something to do with a pickle? Like, that is so cute to me. And actually looking at it in the camera, I think I'm close to being done with this. Ooh, that was close. So this is going to be a bigger, this is going to be on the bigger side of a baby set, only because I have so much of this yarn. So these skeins are the never, well, let me just go grab it. They're Never Enough from, what was that, Michael or Joann's? I don't remember which. But anyway, like I said, I've had these for years. I don't even know if they still sell this color. There's 716 yards in one skein, and I bought 4 of the solid and then 4 of the variegated. So I have a lot of this to use. That's why this is going to be a bigger set. I mean large as in the size, not... Anyway, so I have been working on that, and this baby blanket has been started for like months now, and I'm just now picking it up to get working on it again. But so that is what I'm going with this. I have this, and then last year I started, and I recently finished another baby boy set that I am going to do a tutorial on. And so for those of you that don't know, whenever I do baby sets, I like to do a blanket, a pillow, a matching pillow, and then like a clothing item to go with it. A dress for a girl, or cardigan or pants, or a sweater for a boy. I have a bruise on my arm. Anyway, what I think I'm going to start doing, so whenever I used to do the matching pillow set, I would always enclose the pillow in the pillow case, the pillow cover. But what I think I'm going to start doing is like a normal pillowcase where the pillow can come in and out of it, so that way I can not have to buy so many pillows since I'm jobless now. Anyway, so I finished this set. Obviously I haven't finished the pillowcase yet, but here is the blanket, which this is super soft. And I don't know what I'm going to call this one yet, but here is the other one that I want to do. I'm going to do a tutorial on, and I've actually done the border. Like, this is ready to go. I don't know. I look at this and I see white cap waves with gray skies. I don't know. That's just that's what comes to my mind. Anyway, so this is ready for a tutorial. Here's the little pillowcase that's going to go with it, that I've already got that made up. And so what I'm going to do is stitch this together, and then put, like, the Afghan has a little border on it, and then put a border on one side that the pillow goes in and out of. So that'll all be in the tutorial. And then I still need to come up with a clothing item to go with this. And I've tried, and I've tried, and I've tried. And I get aggravated because it's not looking the way I want it to look, or it's too big, it's too small. So I set that to the side and decided to finish on this. But anyway, so there's that. And then what I think I'm going to do, I feel like I just inhaled a bunch of yarn fibers. What I think I'm going to do for my first tutorial in a while, I had told you guys in the past about these. I always see these blocks. Well, I say blocks. I really don't know what they are or what the purpose of them was. But I always see these in antique stores. And I always see certain colors. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to get these. And I'm going to collect them and get as many colors as I can. Well, of course, it came to where there was only certain colors that I would see, and I wouldn't see any other colors. So I decided, you know what, I am just going to make my own collection and do a tutorial and show you guys. So what I had done was made a whole collection of these blocks. These are the ones I always see in antique stores. And I would only see like red, pink, and maybe yellow. I don't remember. But anyway, so I decided to sit down and go through, did I make that one? I don't think so. Go through the stitches and design it myself and do a tutorial for you guys. So these are the ones that I would always see in antique stores. And like I said, they're all different sizes, or I would never see the color, any other color besides these. And I think they're so pretty. So I sat down and I went through and I made my own blocks using thread, which you do not have to use thread on these. And I actually have the tutorial that I'm going to do. I'm using a 4-weight hook, or a 4mm hook with 4-weight yarn. So, and it makes a really cute wall hanging. Anyway, so basically these are just for decoration. I mean, you could use them as a hot pad. I wouldn't. I mean, I kind of think they're too, well, you could use them as a hot pad. I wouldn't. I just use them as decoration because I think they're really pretty. But basically, that's not a good, how about this one? Yeah, you can see that. So the flower is like, it comes off of the block, and then you have your flower, and then we go from the circle flower to the green, you know, the flower, or the leaves for the flower, and that puts us in the square, and then we just do like the granny square or granny shell around it, and then we do a border, and then we do a second piece for the back. Sorry, we do the granny the granny shell around, and then we do the back, put it together, and then we do the border. I'm trying to get one that you guys can see really well. I don't think I made this one because I don't think I have this color thread. But anyway, so I think that's going to be my next tutorial. And they're very easy, and I think they're pretty, and I like to hang them on my wall next to my desk. And it adds color, and I think they're just elegant, and I like them. So that is going to be the next tutorial that you see, and then one of these baby sets will be after that. I'm excited to do that flower block just because that pattern is so easy, and it'll make a quick and easy tutorial, but then still, you know, be really pretty. I'm losing track of what I'm trying to say while I'm trying to count. Anyway, so for those of you that don't know, I'll put a link in the description box. Life happened, right? As it does to everybody. And I am jobless now. So I was trying to think of different things that I could talk to you guys about. And one of the things that I thought about was something that, I don't know if you necessarily call it a collection, but something that I like to do. I guess you could just, for lack of a better word, or, you know, my ignorance of another word to use, I like to keep VHS tapes from when I was a kid. You know, like a VCR and a VHS tape. And I don't have all of the ones that I want, but I have several. And it's funny because my husband's kind of gotten into it too, and he likes to look for old VHS tapes from when he was a kid, and some of them I'm just kind of like, huh? What is that? You know, like, I have never heard of that movie before. Well, for instance, a really good example of what I'm talking about is, so I know who Bo Derek is. Everybody knows that picture or that poster where she's in that. That's her name, right? I think that's her name. Where she's got the beads in her hair, and she's got like that flesh-colored one-piece bathing suit on, and she's like flipping her hair coming out of the water. Right? That's Bo Derek. I think. My husband's 10 years older than me, and a male, so. But anyway, I know of that picture. I know that her name is Bo Derek because of a friend of my mom's talked about it one time. Other than that, I know nothing about the movie. I didn't even know that was a movie until recently. Which reminds me of something I want to tell you. But anyway, so we were looking at something, and he's like, "Look, honey, here's that movie." I'm telling you this. I'm telling you guys this story, and now I'm questioning if this is right or not. Is it 10? Is a movie called 10? I don't know. But anyway, he's like, "Look, honey, here's that movie 10 with Bo Derek and blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Cool." And he looks at me and he's like, "You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?" And I'm like, "Nope. Nope, I do not, dear. I have no idea. I know of the picture. I know the famous scene, and I know her name is Bo Derek. Is that her real name, or is that the name, like, of her character in the movie? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of movies that he'll mention Or he'll say, oh man, have you seen this? This is a great movie. And I'm like, no, I've never heard of that. Another really good example, we came across for like $2 the VHS set of The Deer Hunter. Never heard of it. I love Robert De Niro and Meryl Streep. And never heard of it, never seen it. And we bought it, and I came home, and we had it for a long time, and I never watched it because I knew obviously it's two cassettes. I knew it was going to be a longer movie. And finally one day I was like, I've watched every murder mystery that's on TV right now. There's nothing else to watch, so I'm just going to watch that. So I put it in, and I started watching it, and it's a bit of a slow burn. And then, of course, anything from the 70s. I'm pretty sure it's from the 70s, right? I think. Anyway, it's kind of odd. Or not odd, but a little different. But I gave it a chance, and I watched it, and I loved it. The end of it, I was just like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? That's what I wanted to tell you guys. So my taste in movies, I am not a romance movie kind of girl. I've seen enough to get my fill. I'll say that. But if it came to my choice of what I wanted to watch, comedy, drama, war, western, romance is not going to be my choice. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you probably are going to disagree with that, but that's just me. It's what... Now, there are some rom-coms, like romance comedies that I love, but the romance part, I'm just like... I don't know. I think it's the realistic in me that I'm like, okay, ladies, you know this doesn't happen in real life, right? Like, you're never going to have that perfect love every day, all, for the rest of your life. Never gonna happen. If you want to watch a movie that makes you dream of it, that's fine, but let's be realistic, that doesn't happen. Anyway, sorry, I got off on a little tangent. I don't know. I'm the type of person that I don't like to, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm not a huge romance fan. My girls love romance. And I'm like, you guys are not a product of me. Anyway, I am telling you this to tell you that one of my all-time favorite miniseries, I think you would consider it a miniseries. My husband came across the VHS set and got it for me, and I could have bawled. Because this is like what I'm getting ready to tell you. This movie, I'm going to show you too. The miniseries set. This was like, I watched this when I was like, and I think you ladies can agree with me, like when you are at the peak of your teenage hormones and just like you are in love with everything. I'm going to get it. I watched this, I think it was on TV, and I fell in love. You ready? Lonesome Dove. Oh my gosh. I wanted to be the cowgirl of every cowboy in this movie, or this whole series. I loved Lonesome Dove. Oh my gosh, Robert Duvall. Yeah. Anyway, so he found this for me and got it, and it is in great shape. Oh man. I was so happy. I told him, I was like, honey, like I had the hots for everybody in this show. But anyway, I remember watching this when I was a kid and just being like, this is the best series I have ever seen. Well, he got this, and he also got Return to Lonesome Dove, which I have never seen this before. So sometime soon, and I didn't know that it had Ricky Schroeder. What Newt from the first one, right? That's him, right? Yeah, Ricky Schroeder. John Voight's in it too. He's not in the first one though. The epic as big as the West continues. Anyway, I didn't know he was in this, so I'm excited to sit down and watch this. I hope it's as good as the first. Oh. Anyway, so I was so happy he got that because I was like, yes, this is my childhood. But along with you know, like westerns like that, I love war movies like Saving Private Ryan. Love that. We Were Soldiers. I'm trying to think of another one that I really, really like. I have my own little collection of VHS tapes. But anyway, oh, one of them that I got that I've never heard of. I mean, it's called Heaven's Gate. I think it's Chris Christopherson in it. I thought it was about the cult Heaven's Gate, but I got to reading it and I was like, I don't think this is what I thought it was. So if you guys know anything about that, let me know. It looks like it could be similar to Lonesome Dove, but I don't know if it is or not. If you guys know anything about that, let me know. But it was free and Matt gave it to me, so I thought I'll watch it eventually, as long as it's not a love story. Anyway, so I wanted to also tell you guys a story from when I was, oh boy, I don't know. I was younger. I probably wasn't teen yet. I don't think I was a teenager yet. So I was like 12 to, well, I said that backwards. I may have been anywhere from the age of 7 to 12. Somewhere in there. Give or take a year. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of how I can tell you guys my life story without going into 100% detail, because my family likes to watch this as much as that annoys me. And I know you're watching. So growing up, it was, for a little bit, my dad, me, and my twin sister. My dad met a woman, my stepmom, got married, and had an amazing life. Have an amazing life still. My mom, my mom chose a different life. I'm just gonna leave it at that, okay? I don't want to go into 100% detail. Anyway, love my mom to death. I'm not saying anything bad. Okay, so my mom had a friend, and his name was Mike King, and he met my twin sister and I. And he didn't have a wife, he didn't have a girlfriend, he didn't have kids, kind of a loner. And I remember seeing him as a kid, and he was real tall, not like 7 foot or anything like that, but to us he was tall. So I'd say he was probably like anywhere 5'10", 6'2", somewhere in there. And he was skinny, and he had long hair. I don't remember facial hair. He may have had a mustache or, something short, but he didn't have like a big beard or anything. So I'm thinking maybe just a mustache. And he had like the old glasses that were like tinted a little bit, and I remember that. I think he may have wore a bandana. I don't know. But anyway, Mom and him were friends. And we would go over there. So it would be my mom, me, my twin, and then him. And then him and my mom would go do their thing, right? And he would tell me and Alicia that we could go through his movies and watch whatever we wanted to watch. Which, as an adult, I know exactly what they were doing. And I realize now they were trying to distract us. But anyway, so we would go through his movies and watch whatever we wanted to watch. And I watched a few of them, and I loved them. I fell in love with these movies. And I never forgot them, and I never forgot them growing up. And I recently got some of them. Like within the last year or two, I got some of them. But, so that Mike knew that Alicia and I loved these, Alicia's my twin sister, loved these movies. And it turned into every time that we would go to Mom's to visit, Mom would take us over there and we would watch the movies. They go do their whatever. And, that's the way it was for a while. And I remember one time we were there for like a weekend, and my sister and I watched every movie he had. Anyway, fast forward, I think I had a driver's license at this time. So 16 to like 18 or 19. My mom and him, didn't like continue a relationship or anything like that. They were just friends and did whatever and then moved on, right? Well, I got a phone call one day. Like I said, I was 16 to 18, 19. My mom told me that Mike was working at a truck stop. So like not like a truck stop as in like a gas station, but like a truck stop where they wash trucks and like semis and maintenance on semis and things like that. Something about Mike was standing. Okay, so you know where a semi pulls it up to a diesel pump to fill up, and it has those big round concrete pillar things. So when the semis leave, they don't drag their trailer or whatever they're pulling into the gas or the diesel tank and tear it up and all, or the diesel pump and tear it up and all that. There's these big round cylinders. I think they're like painted yellow or something. Something about Mike was standing. There's a cat behind my chair. Mike was standing between one of those pillars and a semi trailer, and a semi was pulling out after getting diesel, and he was too close to that pillar and didn't know Mike was there, and Mike didn't notice it coming. So when the guy left, his trailer pinned Mike between the pillar and the trailer and like rolled him and crushed him, and it killed him instantly. And I remember being told that and just being so upset about it. I hadn't seen the guy in years, but he was such a pivotal part of my childhood because of something that he gave to me, like this huge passion for movies. Movies from when I was a kid, I'll say that. Anyway, so having said that, a couple of the movies that we would watch at his house were Jim Henson movies. So The Dark Crystal, let's see, what's another one? The Dark Crystal, The Labyrinth, with David Bowie and I can't remember her name all of a sudden. Anyway, oh man, did I love David Bowie in that. And I know you guys are like, really? I was a hormonal kid, right? So that, and then I watched Tank Girl, which is a Lori Petty movie. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And then Howard the Duck. Yes, Howard the Duck. I can see some of them right here. Short Circuit. Loved that. Batteries not included. Village of the Damned. I thought that was creepy. The Witches of Eastwick. I can't see anymore. Hold on just a second. Oh, Pauly Shore in the army now and jury duty. Oh, Legend. With Tom Cruise. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, obviously, and Willow. I loved Willow. I thought that was adorable. But there's a whole bunch more of them. There's a few that I'm still trying to find. And of course, I could go on eBay and find what I'm looking for. But one, you are going to pay way too much, especially since I'm jobless now. And the price that they charge for shipping is outrageous. And me being someone that I do ship things occasionally, I know that they are way overcharging for shipping. Like, I think one time I ordered something, or I didn't order, I wanted to order something, and I saw that they were charging like $20-some for shipping, and I was like, that is crazy. There is no reason to charge. And I'm not talking like a big box of heavy, something heavy. Yeah, that's probably going to be $20 or more. This was like something small that you could throw in a like little bubble envelope, and they'd charge you like $5 to ship it. So they were charging $20, and I thought, yeah, no. Anyway, so like I was saying, I could go on eBay and find what I'm looking for. I just don't want to pay that much for it. But there, I have a little list that I'm looking for, and one of them that this is more than just the movie, was a big part of my childhood. It's the actor, and the actor was Chris Farley. My sister and I thought he was the funniest person. We were kids, obviously as adult. I'm like, okay. But anything with Chris Farley, I loved him. And whenever I remember crying when he died, it's funny, but you guys know when you're growing up, there's like a sequence of things that happen that you don't forget. I will never forget, and I can't remember the order, but I'll never forget Princess Diana dying and Chris Farley dying. Either it was the same year or it was real close together. I remember that, and I remember everybody crying when Princess Diana died, and I remember me crying when Chris Farley died. Like, I don't remember a lot of people being upset about that, but I remember being like, it's like, what? It's the end of the world. Anyway, so yeah, movies with Chris Farley, I really want, and also Adam Sandler was really popular. I wasn't big on Adam Sandler. I was Chris Farley. I have Black Sheep, right? Is that the one? I have Black Sheep. I'm looking for Tommy Boy, Beverly Hills Ninja, and Almost Famous. Yeah. Almost Famous is... No, that isn't the one. Sorry, I'm having a whole thought process happen in my mind. But yeah, so I'm on the lookout for those. And then, of course, I was a child of the 90s, and I was in love with the classic Disneys. And it's funny because in my mind, there's a handful that I have to have because I was a twin. So I associated, I was Snow White, and my twin sister, who is a freckled-faced redhead, of course, was Ariel. So I have to have Snow White, and I have to have the Little Mermaid. And then Alicia and I loved The Lion King, and I have that one. And then there was a few other ones that I loved. Was it? No, it wasn't Kurt Russell. Who was it Kurt Russell? I remember watching, and I'm pretty sure it was Disney. It's called The Tall Tale, or Tall Tale, The Tall Tale, or Tall Tale. Who was the cowboy in that? And it had the guy with the bull, the blue bull. I know you're yelling it at me right now, but I can't. Not Daniel Boone. Oh, for peace sake. Paul Bunyan. That's it. Anyway, the cowboy in that movie, what was that actor's name? It wasn't Kurt Russell, was it? I don't know. Anyway, so I found that one, and I couldn't believe I found that one. And then trying to think what other movies that were just a big part of my childhood that makes me remember being a kid. I know one. I actually I kind of asked if I could borrow it from my parents, but I have and I know they're watching. I have 100% no thought of giving that back. I am not giving this movie back. I'm keeping it because I will take care of it and it'll stay in nice condition. Anyway, that is the movie, and I will be shocked if any of you know this movie. It's called Fire in the Sky. It's about an alien abduction, and I remember watching that and being so creeped out by the things it showed in that movie. Like, I specifically remember a scene. He gets abducted. I'm not gonna like give the whole story away because in case you guys ever want to watch it, I am not that person. That would drive me nuts if somebody told me the story. But anyway, there's a scene after he gets kidnapped. They're doing tests on him, and the aliens take this thing and like bring it to his eye, and it's like this needle, and it's on his eye. And I remember watching that as a kid and being like, oh my gosh, this is insane. So yeah, that movie. And then like I said, I have a really weird taste in movies. Tombstone. Oh, I loved Val Kilmer in that movie. Doc Holliday. When he is in that gunfight at the end and he's like, I'm your Huckleberry, I'm like, oh, yes. Oh yeah, that movie, loved that. If you guys have, let me know in the comments. I want to know movies that when you were a kid that was really okay, here's how I would explain these movies to somebody to you guys. These movies, I don't want to say changed my life, but I will never forget watching them because they were that impactful to me as a child. That's why I love these movies. That's a perfect way I want to say that. Like, that's exactly how I want to say that. They were impactful for some reason in my childhood. So like right now I'm looking at the movie Maverick with Jodie Foster. Why was that impactful? Because I loved Jodie Foster in that movie. Her dresses, her attitude, oh, I loved her in that movie. That was impactful in my life for that reason. And then of course the music in the Maverick, that's Kenny Rogers. And then, so okay, why was Lonesome Dove impactful? I remember watching that. I think it was with my grandma, and being that hormonal teenager, you're in love with everything. Robert Duvall in that movie. Oh, loved him. And Tommy Lee Jones. And then, anyway, so yeah, okay, here's something that I've actually shocked. We were we were in a antique store in southern Illinois, in a little town called Pinckneyville, Illinois. And I'm pretty sure that's where that is. We walked in there, and it was this older man and I think his wife running the antique store, and they were sitting at behind the counter. And this is the type of antique store where it has all these little booths, and everybody has like their own little set, and so, and then the booth owner pays the building owner rent to have their stuff there. So you've got all these little booths to look at, and it's a bigger one. So we are looking and walking, looking at all of these little booths, and a song comes on the radio, and I am instant. I am instant. I know this song. I know the song because it is from a show, a movie that my mom made me watch as a kid, and I fell in love with it. To watch it now, I would be like, you have got to be kidding me. But anyway, it's called Billy Jack. I loved Billy Jack. And this song came on the radio. And if I remember right, I think it's 110 Soldier. Is that the name of it? 110 Soldier, Rise Away. I think that was the song. It came on the radio, and I was singing it. Not like, belting it out in the middle of the store, but I was walking around and singing this song. And my husband's like, honey, would you stop singing? And I was like, I love this song. I said, this is from Billy Jack. And he's like, what? I was like, oh my gosh, tell me you know who Billy Jack is. Billy Jack Badass. Everybody knows Billy Jack. Of course, no, not everybody knows who Billy Jack is. But the old man sitting, I shouldn't say old, I'm sorry, that's insulting, but the older man sitting behind the counter looked up from whatever he was doing, and he said, how on earth do you know Billy Jack? I was like, because I am a nerd, and my mom watched it and loved Billy Jack and insisted that we watched it, and I love Billy Jack, and I have the 3 DVDs. I don't have them in here. I think they're downstairs. Anyway, I'll never forget that, because that older man was just like, I am amazed that you know Billy Jack. I'm like, not only is it a good movie or a good series, I love the songs in that. And how could you not love Billy Jack? Anyway, so let me know, what movies did you guys watch as kids, or even now as an adult, that just, like, somehow it has an impact on your life? I'm trying to think of more movies that had a huge impact. My mom, she would make us watch horror movies, like, growing up, until, like, I'd say within the last 6 years, I loved horror. And, oh man, my mom used to make sure we knew Chucky, we knew Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason, Michael, Pumpkinhead, Candyman. I mean, my mom made sure we knew who it was, and she was the same way with music. She made sure we knew if a song came on, and she'd look at us and say, okay, who sings this, or who's this, and she would do that from bands from ABBA to Metallica, or like she was a metal, an 80s metal, classic rock. I'm just trying to, off the top of my head, think of like Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, and John Michael, he's country, John Cougar Mellencamp, Like, I knew the Aerosmith. I know those songs because of my mom. Well, my mom is the reason I know most of these movies. And I want to just look before I get off here. Okay, so another one that I'm looking at that I remember, oh, Young Guns. Oh, loved Young Guns. And Silverado. Yes, that was a good one. Fried Green Tomatoes. Of course, Steel Magnolias. Big Trouble in Little China. Oh, and I have it, but I can't see it. What is the name with the movie with the big plant that's Feed Me, Seymour? Little Shop of Horrors. Love that one. Oh, okay, so along with the movies I did name, some of the more shocking movies that I liked when I was a kid, like this one is kind of controversial. I loved Full Metal Jacket. I could not get enough a cowboy in that movie. There's a theme going. Is anybody else picking that up? I never put two and two together until I started talking about this. Anyway, so that movie, and then talking about horror movies, a lot of my favorites when I was a kid was Hellraiser. I love Pinhead. And Puppet Master. I thought those puppets were the cutest things. I love them. I have a box set, like it's just 2 movies, of Hellraiser 1 and 2. I don't have any Puppet Master. I would be, oh man, I would love to find them. I'm trying to think of what else. Anyway, you guys don't want to listen to me ramble on about movies, but let me know in the comments. Tell me your favorite movies. I would love to be able, to know what was it so impactful in your life, or even today, that I would watch it. I mean, I love watching VHS tapes on an old TV. But anyway, so we're almost to 50 minutes. I will say, if you have not seen Lonesome Dove, watch it. Find it on whatever. Find VHS. If you got a VCR, find a DVD, Blu-ray. Find it on a streaming service somewhere and watch Lonesome Dove. You're going to love it. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I have got some laundry to do. Figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. And crochet. I look rough today. Now that I am jobless, it is very easy to just throw your hair up in a bun, throw some sweatpants and a t-shirt on, and there you go. I did brush my teeth, so anyway. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss what's next. And you are going to see more of me. I love you all. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Even if you're not a huggy kind of person, I don't care. I am going to hug you. So there you go. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Bye, guys.